Hi people, welcome back again. Today's the 1st of September 21. So, two interesting things. We're going to show you something how you can, in your own personal life and at home, business, all that stuff, get free of something that you didn't realize. That's called stress. While Biden, listen, see the tape we just made before this one? He actually did something miraculous. He just began the end of inventing wars. Yeah, he really did that. This such imperfect guy. God, we were Republicans for a long time. We're independent now, so we're even free to be honest about anything. If someone's good, that's good. We don't hold back because we're with a party. That's dishonest. If we're in a position that influences people, that's really destructive. We don't do that. No, as you don't. So Biden did a super thing. We're going to show you something separately now that the world is under repair under his watch. As the U.S. goes, other nations go. They'll all be ending their invented wars or defending themselves from the U.S. that led so many invented wars. You see? The good country, but it was bribed. You know, it was bribed to give billions to bomb makers and then invent reasons for them. Okay, that's in the past. Yeah. Biden did an incredible job. I'm telling you, it's so unpopular. He ended that. Others will say, gosh, we don't have to do that either. I'm telling you, you're going to see an amazing, amazing follow-through. He said he only wanted to serve one term and just sort of be the between guy until the next ones go, probably because he felt he was older and didn't want to tie it up for the next or younger person. But, oh, God, if he's doing this well, you hope, because there are some other things we've named that you know about that need repair. The mess in Palestine, the immigration lie, and the vax story. He needs to work on those. Well, he's got plenty of time left, so we'll have those done. We're going to help him a little. But here's something for you. This talk is entitled Stress. Stress, listen to me, is not something you have, nor a disorder. No, stress is not something you have. It's something a certain type of person gives you, or a situation that they created. You see? So stress is not something that you have. It's something a certain kind of person gives you, or a situation that they created. And they're described in this little book we have. Isn't this interesting? Yeah. Guy that wrote this book said, don't believe these things, check it out. Yep. Only a small percent of society are the so-called bad guy. One who's doing this is bad. The basic being is never bad, but their doing this can get out of hand. We've given you in earlier talks how layers of life drive people, otherwise that have done well up to that point, drive them to doing wrong things. You see, and those are layers of life. They are not the layers, but they are their layers, and they're responsible, especially if they're in a position of having influence or something like that. So we're going to talk to you about stress. Here's a big, tall thing that's hard to believe, okay? Yeah, okay. There's a thing called the suppressive person. Sub means below. Sub means below, like submarine. Press means to push below, to press down. To squash you, to harm you, to reduce you in any way, to make you feel uncertain about your reaching for the fancied, invented or thought protection. The guy doing that thinks it protects him. So it's the fancied or fantasized protection of the guy doing it. Okay, so that's something that we're going to talk about today, because I didn't know this, and I'm grateful to have found this out. The guy that wrote this points out in this book, he says, don't believe it, check it out, but it'll probably make sense to you, that all illnesses in greater or lesser degree and all follow-ups stem directly and only from a condition of being linked to a suppressive person. Actually, all injuries, illnesses, follow-ups, mistakes, accidents, all of them. You see, if you look at the anatomy of mistakes happen only in the presence of suppression. People are befuddled, they make mistakes, okay? Illnesses are really a re-stimulation of your stuff. Layers of life we didn't know were there. Suppressives deal mainly in re-stimulating those things. Yep, that's it. See somebody who's kind of down in the dumps and around somebody who gets them down in the dumps. All up and down people, all roller coasters. happy, sad, sick, well, rich, poor, injured, not. You know, those are all linked to a suppressive person, and it's very simple to solve this. In fact, there's a free course online called Handling the Sources of Suppression. It's free. And believe me, the homework that went into this was long and costly. It took many years to get this done by the guy who so kindly discovered these things and then gifted them to a nonprofit and for ethical distribution. Ethics have been the most difficult part because there's a small percent of society that will get involved in any group. Not so much this one, but in the early days they did. So, yeah. So all illnesses, don't believe this. This isn't practicing medicine. No, it's practicing you, allowing you to practice. If you have a doctor thing, go to the doctor. Break a bone, go to the doctor. But if you have something and they're not curing it and they just give you drugs or something, well, you have a right to go and take a look at the why, the WHY, the reason for it. And you always know that. I do not know how your day went today. I don't know. How do I know how your day went today? Why should I have to? You know how your day went, comma, and all the other days, then you can revisit and find out what happened just before you were sick or injured. There's always a who, or a situation, a who created. Always, always, always. Yeah. And I have no idea what it is, but I do know that you know, and I know how to get you to find that. Yeah. I was on the phone with an operator once looking up something, and I said, "You have a cold?" She says, "Yeah." "Would you like a little help?" "Sure." She said, "No, then it won't bother." And the brief time we could talk, she's an operator, she suddenly says, "My sore throat, it's gone." Boom, because I got her to look at what happened, what was going on just before that. We're looking for who, and it was a very brief moment, and I was able to explain how things work. Whereas with you, well, we have time. We have time. So I've done a lot of these guys. It never misses. The truth is always knowable. I don't know how your day went. You do. All the other days, you can revisit them. A being has complete recall of everything that it's ever seen or done or had done to it, and on and on. Complete recall. Yes. 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 So, yep. So he says here, there are two stable data which anyone has to have, understand, and know are true in order to obtain results in handling a person connected to suppressives. A PTS is a potential trouble source. That's not the bad guy. No, that's the guy plugged into a bad guy, but while plugged in, he brings trouble to himself and to us. It's all in this book, this green book. I'm not going to let you see it. I might. Yep. I'm telling you. Okay. Okay. So, here we go. So, the data are one. The first of the two data are that all illness in greater or lesser degree and all follow-ups stem directly and only from a PTS condition. Your PTS, your potential trouble source, because you're linked to a bad guy. Yeah. Small percent of the bad guy, but about 1 in 5 are linked to these guys, you see, currently. And all have been, are 20%, or will be. It doesn't matter anymore. You'll be an animal. They'll be running from you. I'm dealing in understatements here, people. I'm excited about this. The first datum, again, is that all illness in greater or lesser degree and all follow-ups stem directly and only, don't believe it, check it out, you'll see, from a PTS condition. Your potential trouble source, you're linked to a bad guy. And secondly, getting rid of the condition requires 3 basic actions. Understanding this little technology here, which is a piece of cake, okay, easy. 2, discover, you see, the condition. And 3, you handle or you disconnect from that person. You discover, you'll understand this, that there is someone, then you go and discover who it is, and then you make the decision of handle or disconnect. Will they take a handle? Will they accept change? Can you change them? Or you disconnect? Because the only way a person can harm you is by having a connection to you. And oh, they know how to pin you to them. I'm giving you some verbal stuff I got from this. You can get it too. Here's how it works. Suppressive people are very clever. They're the anti, not unsocial, anti, against people. They're against society. Only a small percent. But 20% are plugged in. So the 2.5%, the small percent, cause the 20 to oppose any betterment that the 80% want to do. So 1 in 5 are trouble. But surfacedly. They're sort of surface, light, some more, some less. It's all a fixer. They're easy to fix. Anybody can handle that. You can do it. You can take a class and help anybody. Yep. If your kids are sick or something, all this stuff going around, that's all crap. No, there's always a who that'll bring it about, you see. There's a who that'll cause it. You can be out in there, somebody says, well, oh, Joe, how are you doing? Well, I don't feel good. I have a cold. I see what happened. Well, I was out in the rain. Oh, I see. So we turn the rain off? Yeah, I see. That's interesting. Oh, I left the air conditioner on. Oh, I see. So we turn the air conditioner on. How about all the other people that are out in the rain or have the air conditioner on? See, it has nothing to do with those things. They can help bring it about, predispose or precipitate. But it's all in, well, there's a saying too. If you have a teacher who's mean or unkind, you might sprain an ankle or get the flu so that you won't be a target for the abusive teacher or family member. You see, no one kicks a dead dog, right? Yeah, that's a fact. That's how it works. You are a cause. I mean, you are a source. You're the author of your participation with that person. Notice I didn't say bad or good. Yeah, and sometimes we get involved and we don't realize. And often, they're the kind that are the smile with a knife behind their back, the person that hates you but doesn't tell you. This is the anti-social personality. We're going to describe the person. It's in this book. Here it is. Yeah. Okay. The 12 characteristics, the attributes, the antisocial personality. This is why people get sick or have an accident, right? Just getting the education, you'll tweak on some of these that you've had in your life, and you'll find relief from that layer of life you were carrying, okay? Yes, you will. All right. Yep, you will. Okay. Or the one that you have there right now. Okay. 1, the antisocial personality, not unsocial, anti-people. 1, he or she speaks only in very broad generalities, like they say, everybody thinks, everybody knows. And such expressions are in continual use, particularly when imparting rumor. When asked who is everybody, it normally turns out to be one source, and from this source, the antisocial person has manufactured what he or she pretends is the whole opinion of the whole society. You see? This is natural to them, since to them, the antisocial, all society is a large, hostile generality. Against this guy, this antisocial in particular. Okay, good. Number 2, such person deals in mainly bad news, critical or hostile remarks, invalidation, general suppression. Invalidation, to invalidate, to make not valid, to make wrong. Okay, so such person deals mainly in bad news, critical or hostile remark. This is in the free course online, by the way. Yeah, handling sources of suppression. Okay, gossip or harbinger of evil tidings or rumor monger once describes such persons. The media does this, and that's what they do more than not. They're merchants of chaos. They create conflict. Not all, but most. Okay. It is notable that there's no good news or complimentary remark passed on by such a person. 3, the antisocial personality alters to worsen communication when he or she relays a message or good news. Good news is often stopped, and only bad news often embellished, exaggerated is passed along. Such a person also pretends to pass on bad news, which is in fact invented, okay? This is just the breakdown of what they're like. We'll get to you, okay? Okay, a characteristic, one of the sad things about an antisocial personality is that it does not respond to treatment or reform or psychotherapy. Surrounding, here it is, such a personality we find coward, C-O-W-A-D, coward, afraid, coward or ill associate around the person. We will find coward or ill associates or friends who, when not driven actually insane, are yet behaving in a crippled manner in life, failing, not succeeding. Such people make trouble for others. These people, linked to the suppressive, make trouble for others, you see? When treated or educated, the near associate of the antisocial personality has no stability or gain. No stability of gains. The gains aren't stable, but promptly relapses or loses the advantages of knowledge, being under the suppressive influence of the suppressive person. But this is all a fixer. This is all a fixer. Yeah. Okay. Physically treated, Such associates commonly do not recover in the expected time, but worsen and have poor convalescence, to convalesce, getting well that period. It is quite useless to treat or help or train such persons so long as they remain under the influence of the antisocial connection. The largest number of insane are insane because of such antisocial connections and do not recover easily for the same reason. Get this, unjustly, we seldom see the antisocial personality actually in an institution. Only his friends and family are there. Yeah, this is reality. Okay. Yeah. Yes, this is reality, guys. Okay. Okay. Number 6, the antisocial personality selects habitually the wrong target. If the tire is flat from driving over nails, he or she curses a companion or a non-causative source of the trouble. If the radio next door is too loud, he or she kicks the cat. Ouch. If A is the obvious cause, the antisocial personality inevitably blames B, C, or D. Okay? The antisocial personality cannot complete a cycle of action. Okay? Such becomes surrounded with incomplete projects. Many antisocial persons will freely confess to the most alarming crimes when forced to do so, but will have no faintest sense of responsibility for them. Their actions have little or nothing to do with their own volition. Things just happened, okay? Sorry about the mask, guys. We'll tell you about that in a minute, okay? They have no sense of correct causation and particularly cannot find any sense of remorse or shame therefore. The antisocial personality, we're almost done, there are only 12, supports only destructive groups and rages against and attacks any constructive or betterment group. Number 10, 2 more. This type of personality approves, get this, only of destructive actions and fights constructive or helpful actions or activities. Look at Biden, he got the war stopped. Then the other side stops also. Get it? Oh, he's attacked for that. Wow. Anyway, the artist, in arts in particular, is often found as a magnet for persons with antisocial personalities who see in his art something which must be destroyed and covertly, as a friend, proceed to try. You see? Bad guy, the suppressive, will see in his art something that must be destroyed, and as a friend will proceed to try. You see? Already? Helping others is an activity which drives the antisocial personality nearly berserk. Activities, however, which destroy in the name of help are closely supported. Okay? The antisocial personality has a bad sense of property and conceives that the idea that anyone owns anything is a pretense made up to fool people. Nothing is ever really owned. Okay, the basic reason, and we're almost done, the antisocial personality behaves as he or she does lies in a hidden terror of others, okay? To such a person, every other being is an enemy to be covertly or overtly destroyed, sneakily or openly destroyed. Everybody is, okay? Yeah. The fixation is that survival itself depends on keeping others down or keeping people ignorant. Sound familiar? If anyone were to promise to make others stronger or brighter, the antisocial personality suffers the utmost agony of personal danger. Yeah. The reason that if they are in this much trouble with people around them weak or stupid, they would perish should anyone become strong or bright. Such a person has no trust to a point of terror. This is usually masked or unrevealed. Yes. And when they finally go insane, the world is full of Martians or the FBI, and each person met is a Martian or an FBI agent. Yeah. But the bulk of such persons exhibit no outward signs. No signs of insanity. They appear quite rational. They can be very convincing. Yeah. And the list given above consists of things which the antisocial person, which a personality cannot detect in himself or herself. They can't detect these things in themselves. It's so true that if you thought you found yourself in one of the above, you most certainly are not antisocial. Self-criticism is a luxury the antisocial cannot afford. They must be right because they are in continual danger in their own estimation. If you prove one of them wrong, you might even send him or her into a severe illness. Only the sane, well-balanced person tries to correct his conduct. So if you were, here it is, this is about stress. If you were to weed out of your past by proper search and discovery those antisocial persons that you have known, and if you then disconnected, you might experience great relief. You see? Yes. And similarly, if society were to recognize this personality type as a sick being, as they now isolate people with smallpox, both social and economic recoveries would occur. Joe Biden just did. We're very unpolitical, but Joe Biden, yesterday, by declaring, the other day, he's ending the creating of war. Yes. So, things are not likely to get much better so long as 20% of the population is permitted to dominate and injure the lives and enterprise of the remaining 80%. See, the 2.5% are the bad guy, and they're hooked into the 20%. So the 2.5 have the 20% against the 80%. But the 20% can be fixed. They're called the potential trouble source, PTS. They're not the bad guy, but while plugged in, they bring his stuff to us, okay? You see? Yes. So, as majority rule is a political manner of the day, so should majority sanity express itself in our daily lives without the interference and destruction of the socially unwell. Yes. The pity of it is they will not permit themselves to be helped and would not respond to treatment if help were attempted. Here's three. An understanding and ability to recognize such personalities could bring a major change in society and our lives. Yeah. Now, the social personality, the opposite type, it's important to know those. Man, in his anxieties, is prone to witch hunts. All one has to do is designate people wearing black caps as the villains, and one can start a slaughter of people in black caps. Yeah. Yes. This characteristic makes it very easy for the antisocial personality to bring about a chaotic or dangerous environment. That's what you've had in the last 4 years. Getting people to hate people, getting healthy people to fear healthy people with the masks, and getting people to hate other countries, saying that those people are dirty brown people in Mexico. They make the guy saying that just that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Man is not naturally brave or calm in his human state, and he is not necessarily villainous. Yeah. Even the antisocial personality, in his warped way, is quite certain that he is acting for the best and commonly sees himself as the only good person around, doing all for the good of everyone. The only flaw in his reasoning being that if one kills everyone else, none are left to be protected from the imagined evils. Yeah, Joe Biden just ended that, this invented war, okay? His conduct in his environment and towards his fellows is the only method of detecting either the antisocial or the social personalities, by their conduct, the way they treat people. The motives for self are similar, self-preservation and survival. They simply go about achieving these in different ways. Yeah, there you go. Thus, as man is naturally neither calm nor brave, not naturally, and anyone to some degree tends to be alert to dangerous persons, and hence witch hunts can begin. So it's very important to identify the social personality rather than just the antisocial. It's even more important, and one then avoids shooting the innocent out of mere prejudice or dislike or because of some momentary misconduct. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So there you go. So we go in here to describe the good guy. That's in here too. So the person who did this homework is a remarkable person, and sure enough, a small percent are against that. They have a desperation to demonize, because if you were to go, it said, to uproot, to point to people like this, they would go crazy. And they would be as convincing as they can to get people to dislike you when you're trying to help people from their evil, you see. So the guy that developed all this did some homework. One of the people he investigated was psychiatry. Psychiatry, for the drugging, the electroconvulsive shocking, the lobotomizing, cutting people's brains out, and that, psychiatry defined as definition, psyche means spirit. And ology, study of spirits, really? Well, then why did they give a physical thing, a drug, to a physical thing, a body, to solve a spirit? Interesting. And psychiatry tells the person what's wrong. This thing lets the person tell. So anyway, one day I was talking to someone, essentially a guy at Harvard. There's a school in Massachusetts called Harvard. A guy at Harvard told the girl, and the girl told me. It wasn't part of, but it was told on campus. Thank you, Heather, for that. And she told me about this thing that psychiatry is so desperate to demonize. It's called Scientology. What is Scientology? Okay. Skio, as in the science, means knowing in the full sense. Knowing in the full sense. Ology, study out. So study of knowingness, knowing how to know things, not being told or asked to believe. The guy that did this homework, Hubbard, said, don't believe it, check it out. He did some discoveries. It worked for a long time. Well, what did they call an overnight success? A flash in the pan, right? So how long did he study? It has a 3 in front of it. Was it 33 or 38 years out of his pocket for your problem? Yeah. He's not a science fiction writer, and Scientology is not science fiction. Skio is in science, skio is knowing in the fullest sense, not being told or asked to believe. So there you go. So you can know things. Beliefs are okay, but knowing is the senior-most datum. Okay, so there you go. So this was a book by Hubbard called Introduction to Scientology Ethics. And key parts of that book are free online. There's a free course online called Google Scientology Courses Online. And one of them is handling sources of suppression. What I read to you is online. A free course online, and you can have a live person and walk you through it. Yeah. Professional people who, beside their regular job in a day or business, do this as a volunteer and some full-time professionals. These are sharp people. Well, the technology is what's sharp. They'll help walk you through. And you will then be an animal. You will not be effective. These 1 in 5 who are carriers of the bad guy's stuff. They are suppressive, but they are not the suppressive person, but they're bringing suppression to you and me. So any roller coaster, up, down, happy, sad, rich, poor, injured, not, any roller coaster, up and down, is always proof there's a suppressive person around. Also, a problem is something a suppressive person gives you. You have an intention, he has counter-intention. Now, problem is defined as equal forces opposing. Intention by you, counter-intention, against. Idea, counter-idea. Thought, counter-thought. Purpose, counter-purpose. It locks, you're stuck. A problem is something a suppressive person gives you. You see? Stress is not something you have. No, nor a disorder. That's psychiatry. They are a disorder. Stress is something a certain kind of person gives you, or a situation that he or she created. Yeah, I'm telling you. Check it out. And again, I don't know how your day went today. I have no idea how your day went. I do know exactly this. You know exactly how your day went all the other days. All that Scientology does, it's a method, a counseling available to remove layers of life that are not you. They're your layers, but you are not the layers. And these are layers that you're not aware of, and you need to get these handled. That's why you'll see somebody who's perfectly normal, someone you and I have known for a long time, done a whole lot of good, and all of a sudden doing something not good. Well, he's the one doing it, but he doesn't realize that layers of life that he carries brought to the surface somehow, restimulation, and that's what happens. The discovery by Hubbard, now I get a kick out of this, why would someone else have to discover something about you or me? The discovery that all of you, all beings are basically good. That would mean originally. How can you be bad before you decided to be? Why feel guilty about something you haven't done, okay? But as we go through time, this life, maybe we lived other lives, I don't know. That's your thing. We gather things. We gather things, and guess what? But if we're basically good, that's originally, and that is who we are, well, then you're still the same person. So the catch is you are the same person, a good person. So should you ever go away from the center line or do something that you consider, that you think is not okay, right? Then, guess what? You will disagree with that behavior, yeah, and you'll create a stop, a way to stop yourself from further harming others, yeah. Sideways proof that you're good. Karma is not what goes around comes around. No, no, no. Karma is a self-inflicted hit to rid the self of guilt. A self-arranged stop to stop the good self from harming others. You see? Yeah, you're not what you do. No, no, no. You do something good, you get credit for that. Do something not good, fix it best you can, but you're not what you do. Really? If you make shoes, are you the shoes? No, even a good batch of shoes. Are you the shoes? I don't think so. That's kind of goofy, you know? So, what do we have here? All right, we have truth. Skill. Skill, you see, means knowing in the fullest sense. You have a right to know. And ology studies, I didn't know, knowing how to know things, but the desperation of psychiatry to demonize it because it investigated psychiatry for the drugging, electroconvulsive shock treatments, and lobotomies. You know, they think that we're a lab animal. Psychiatry is so normalized, it's so pop culturized. Drugs? Are you into drugs? Really? 1 in 5 of every one of you, and everyone that you know, and everyone that they know, 1 in 5, from preteen to age 65, just that bracket alone, are on psychiatric drugs. Yes. A chemical lobotomy, a chemical straitjacket. Yes, they are. Yeah. So far, all those school shooters, all those mass shooters, everyone were on or dying trying to get off of psych drugs. Yeah, yeah. See the picture of the shooter? See the guy there? No, that's not the shooter. No, it's called the guy in the background, the drug dealer in white coats. Sorry about this mask, it keeps falling. Yep. We had a wreck, so we're covering up until we get the wreck fixed. It was elective sports. We claim it wasn't bad karma. No, no. Goofing around in a sport with animals, riding a horse, that kind of thing. So, whoops, part of the game, you know? Yep. Obviously, we weren't that good. Obviously. Okay, so, anyway, so there you go. Well, if you're in rodeos, all those are rough horses and rough bulls, so you're going to get hurt someday, part of the game. But it's elective. Playing football, you get banged around, but it's elective. That's an excuse. Okay, so guys, that's it. This book, Introduction to Scientology Ethics. There's stuff in here that is so valuable. If you can afford to get the book, do it. If not, just take the free course online. Google Scientology courses online. Yeah, they're free. They're a non-profit. People say they're no money. Listen, they have a counseling available. Even though they're a non-profit, a counseling available. You have to pay for it by the hour. They have to pay the rent, right? And they rather than have you buy the counseling, no, they'll tell you, take a class, just buy a course and become a counselor, and you and your friend counsel each other, and it's free. Oh, it's a very high quality, very high grade, professionally done course. Oh yeah, the standards are very high, but you can do it. You can walk through it, right? So rather than selling the counseling by the hour, which would cost a lot more, add it up, just buy the course. They're a non-profit, so don't let anybody lie to you. Don't let somebody take something that's yours. Yeah, again, all it does, all it can do, back to the counseling, is enable you to find out things that you already know, and it would behoove you to revisit and get rid of those layers of life. Buddha, remember Buddha, the little tubby guy, you know? Buddha is a soundbite. Buddha, his name was Gautama Siddhartha. He did one thing for the common person. Get this. He enabled the common person to get outside of his body looking at it. If few feet away. What? Holy, what? What? I'm not that. I'm not a thing. I'm not anything. I can't die. Well, that's a big thing to become, right? No, you can't become that. You are. You are. But he didn't have a method back then. That's the only difference, to unpeel life's layers. Therefore, the people snap back in to the life's layers. Okay. Today, the only difference is this Harvard guy developed a method to unpeel life's layers. Yeah. The book. Now, when you buy this book, for example, I like this. It's a real high quality binding. See the notches here? This is like a textbook quality. $60, $70, $80, whatever they cost those high grade school books, because they have to last, But it's only $42. They sell it at their cost. Where you go to the bookstore, big chain of bookstores to buy a novel or something or whatever. Those are like $28 or something, They don't last. This, you'll be glad it will last. And if you can't afford this book, 2 or 3 people get together and buy it, and you'll be glad it's built well, you see, because you will use it. Let me tell you something. One of those people, if, they try and run their crap on you, they'll see the look in your eye and they run. They will shatter, literally, suppress it, because they're all bluff. Yep. The world is not bad, they make you think so. Again, one of the things they use, one of the tactics is to generalize. Oh, everything's bad, they're all bad, this bad, that bad. So stick with them. It pins you to them. They ran a can't have on you. You can't have things. Nothing's good. Stick with them. They'll even say that, well, I'm your friend, so I'll tell you, people are talking about you, but I'm your friend, stick with me. And they aren't really. No, they'll say things, everything's bad, ugly, terrible, to therefore count on them, right? And that's what pins you to them. That's how they suppress you. Then they'll run a can't have of unwanted things. It's in the book. It's in that book. Yeah. Don't be afraid. I couldn't care less. I got it. I don't need it. You go and check this out. Want to get the book? When you cross a bridge, the word bridge, B-R-I-G-G-E, Bridge Publications publishes their books. Okay. You can call Bridge Publications an 800 number. Talk to Sergey. He's a Russian guy. I really like Sergey. We talk Russian hockey, yeah. Or you go to call any one of the Scientology centers. Get the book. I work for them. I'm just telling you, okay? Remember, a guy at Harvard told the girl told me, it wasn't part of it, but it was told on campus, bless Heather. Bless her. Listen, there's 7.3 billion people on Earth, okay? And a very small percent know about and do this, right? But that's a few million people. Hello? And if they thought it was so bad, they'd be in mobs protesting. No. That attractive young actress, that ex-actress, Leah, Remember, Remedy, whatever, kind of a chip on her shoulder girl. I like her. But psychiatry, big pharma, are paying for that show she was doing to trash Scientology, saying, oh, I was a Scientologist and all that. By the way, people say to me, they say, so you're into Scientology? No, you can't get into Scientology. You don't. It gets you out of things that you didn't know you're into if you want to, with the how-to and the can-do. I made that up. See, I like to make up stuff. Okay. You follow me? Yeah. So don't let somebody hackle it. So Leah and this Mike guy that used to work there, well, they're pretty neat people, kind of classy, bright, talented people, yeah, but they're not telling you the truth. Let's just say this. Let's say that I go to do this, but I'm also taking drugs at the same time. I'm not saying they did. No, I don't think they did. I'm giving you an example. But I'm taking drugs at the same time, or I'm taking money out of the thing from the company where I work. It doesn't work if you have continuous, ongoing, present time misdeeds, things you're doing wrong. It won't work. But it works. Well, handle that thing. Then it'll work. So they were doing whatever they were doing with Scientology over something else that wasn't right. Trying to do it over, or against ongoing misdeeds of some kind. I don't know what they were, but I do know. You read the book, you'll see. She was doing something wrong because she was nattering. She's a natter to be critical is simply, poor dear, I don't dislike her, a dramatization of her own undisclosed misdeeds. Guess what? Who cares? Watch this. Little Johnny runs outside and tells his playmates what a jerk his mom is, right? Leaving out the part about hands and the cookie jar, right? So when his friends, his little playmates, find out about he had his hands in the cookie jar, right? Well, it doesn't matter because his mom's an old jerk anyway, right? Unless they told their moms. You see? It's called, I make less important mom. I make mom less important to make less important what I did against mom. It does not, repeat, does not make Johnny a bad person, nor Leah. No, I have no bias. I kind of think she's neat, right? Now, it is a little unokay if she's cheating you out of something you can have called you. Get you back. Doctors say, you're using about 1/100th of your brain. You've heard that, right? Well, they just called you a meat animal, meat, right? Actually, and this number is important, and you will find it out, and wait till I tell you what'll happen. You're using around 1/1000th of the beingness that you used to use, but it's right underneath there. And when you unpeel life's layers, the only thing I will tell you, because I can't tell you the rest, because only you know, let it happen for you. I guarantee you one thing, I've never seen it miss. You will be on the floor in pain, laughing. Oh God, I can't stand it, that kind of, no, you will. You'll be so relieved. Just to the part we took off the top of handling suppressive people as tricks. Why? Because we want you cleaned up. We, meaning I, we want you free of debris. Because 1 in 5, you'll come in. The 1 in 5 that are linked to a bag, they come in, but they have trouble. They can't do this until they handle that. Right. Well, some of you aren't really in trouble with that. Whatever it is, right? Get the book and go beat that thing back. Yeah. Joe Biden. Now remember, we're not political. I've been a Republican since don't ask. Let me tell you something. He said, that's it. No more, quote, military might doing regime changes, going in and changing countries. Well, what does that mean? Bless these people that make guns and people. I was in the Marines. I know the game. I was a platoon leader in the Marines. Okay, I know the deal. Believe me, I have friends who know the deal. Yeah, and so do you. Yeah, what he's really saying is people that make bombs and guns, I got this. It's good to have a defense. They pay Congress campaign contributions, so Congress spends billions every year for the U.S. to buy billions in weapons and bombs and airplanes, right? Right? And then they have to invent some reason, go pick on some wrong group. Yeah. Biden doesn't even know he is clueless, ignorant, dumb doo-doo. Clueless how genius he is. Know them by their actions. I got news for you. He said no more. And the other mistake that he had Tony Blinken, his Secretary of State, made a mistake. He's saying, yeah, hey, we're not doing that anymore. We're dealing in diplomacy. God, all the other countries will follow. You watch. But he made a mistake of saying, look, I make mistakes because I didn't have the truth, okay? We went in there 20 years ago, spent $2 trillion. We killed Osama bin Laden. We went after the people that did 9/11. No, you didn't. No. You didn't go after the people that did 9/11. No. The 9/11 was done by people who told you after 50 years, stop killing us. So we gave you a little shot of 9/11. We, for 50 years, were blowing them up. We were being bribed to blow up their people in the Middle East. So 9/11 happens, and Bush, I knew him. He's a hell of a good guy. Yes, he is. But he made a hell of a big mistake. Trump said it was the worst thing ever done in the history of America. After 9/11, Bush says, go get them and go kill the Iraq. They aren't the ones. They're the victims of the ones that got you at 9/11. So we went into Afghanistan and Iraq, yeah. Remember? He was told, weapons of mass destruction. See these aerial photos of those aluminum tubes down there, and they contain weapons of cock-a-doodle-doo, mass doo-doo. Remember that? Go get them, right? And after killing 165,000 civilians in Iraq, women and children, maybe it was 185,000. Go look it up, right? I saw him on TV, this honest guy, and I thought, get this, he said, people, there were no weapons of mass destruction. He said the truth. So we weren't in chasing Osama bin Laden and the bad guys. No, no, no. Osama bin Laden was this guy that inherited about 600 or 800 million. Yeah, and willing to live in tents and caves to fight for justice, saying, stop killing my people. Yeah, he wasn't the bad guy, no. I mean, two wrongs don't make a right. 9/11 happened. A new wrong, yes. Terroristic in nature. A furthering of what we call the downward spiral. I got that. We try and maintain an IQ of room temperature and above. I got that. Try it, right? But no, no, no. It happened to us, not Italy, Japan, or the Eskimos, right? We are the who. Again, it was karma. Yeah, George Bush said, there were no weapons of mass destruction. We just, and you know what he said? And the people that died, well, that's collateral damage. Collateral? Cadaver? Carcass? Whose? Theirs? Aren't important? You found out on 9/11, and you know what? Joe Biden just ended it. Stop it, you'll get another one. All he has to do now, if he's so concerned about no more military might going into other countries to change the regime change, if he goes in and pulls our paid Nazis out of occupied Palestine, you people will live in another year. That is the other 9/11 in progress. Yeah, the global court of public opinion said George Floyd, that deal won't fly. They saw him. 9.5 minutes of the knee and the neck. Even the sane people allowed to talk, sane, honest, said, hey, a fully healthy person would have been dead in 5 minutes, half of the 9.5, right? So don't give us his cock about, oh, he was a drug user or something. He wasn't anything. He was handcuffed, face down, head mashed into the concrete with a knee on the neck for 9 minutes, can't breathe. He was dead long before. The global court of public opinion, the internet, is the new sheriff in town. There was no wiggle room. People begged, please let us help. I'm a paramedic. I can still save him. Get out of here, right? Yeah, they testified in court. I'm a firefighter. Here, I'll help him. I know how to bring him back. He's still alive. No. No wiggle room. The court of public opinion globally said, guess what? Those 200, our bribed billions just killed in occupied Palestine are 200 plus new George Floyds. And you know what? Global demonstrations, exponentially growing, going viral, all countries. U.S., you are no longer respected. You're dog poop, and you better get your butt out of there, or that's it. That's it. But Biden did that. We aren't dog poop. He said no more U.S. military might. Well, I hope he pulls those guys out soon, because they actually, those guys over there, they have rabbis, Jews with a heart and a soul, hold up signs saying Zionism is not Judaism. Those aren't Jews. Those are, remember, Cubans didn't kill Cubans. Castro did. Jews didn't kill Jews. Hitler did. His name was Schicklgruber. He was a house. Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, yes, it was. He was a Jew. No, Jews don't kill Jews. That slimeball psychotic Hitler killed Jews. And the same number of Catholics, but they don't make all the noise. 6 million of each, and then some more. Yeah, that's not okay, guys. So this killing you're doing of a couple 3,000 in Palestine, 1,000. You're murdering 71 kids. You just killed them. You can grab people off their farms and beat them and shoot them. You have snipers over there shooting rubber-coated steel bullets, taking the eye out of kids for contests, for points. They have a T-shirt on showing a pregnant woman, 2 for 1. You ain't gonna make it. Joe Biden is the only reason you stand a chance. That is his biggest thing. That's next up. I don't want to say if he doesn't do it, I know he will. He went against a lot of people because by leaving Pakistan, it looked like, oh God, they'll die. No, you lie. You were lied to. The Taliban, they helped us get the people out. It's the ISIS that an enemy of the Taliban. Joe told you. You had Lester Holt doing an interview with Richard Engel. He's always over there. This is all part of the book I told you about. Get the book. And they interviewed the head of the Taliban, the new guy. No, that's about, yeah, but hey, you say you're good, but what about all the women you guys have killed? He said, no, that's the old regime, more the new guys. He didn't say, oh, we don't do that. He said it was wrong to do it, and we don't do it. That's who you're dealing with, thank you. Joe Biden went in and took it out. Now, after all the heat he's taken, oh, he put people at risk, oh, this veteran guy from over there, the Army veteran, oh, God, how terrible Biden is. No, baby killer. You're the terrible one. You're the damn baby killer. You are. Yeah. Do you know who the most written about person in the history of the world? Google it. Not quoted, most written about person in the history of the world. Google, Guinness Book of Records. More than Jesus, more than Napoleon, more than Ben Franklin. Guess who? Cassius Clay. He changed his name to Muhammad Ali, became a Muslim, which means peace. He won the gold medal in the Olympics in boxing. They said, oh, now you're drafted? He said, no, I'll take jail time. Quote, I don't need to be flown 5,000 miles and told who to kill, unquote. That's all he said back then. That thing has been in that thread of why he's the most written about person in the history of the world. Obviously not boxing, as great as he was such a loudmouth. I'm the greatest, you're a dope, you're a dummy, you're a monkey. He'd hold up a little brown monkey, this tall, a fuzzy brown monkey, and point it to brown people he's fighting. You're a monkey. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Rumble in the jungle, rope-a-dope, you're a dummy. Yeah, he kind of neutralized how great he was there. So no, that's not why he's the most written about person in the history of the world. He and Joe Biden have a little bit in common. Thank you. Thank Joe Biden. I knew Muhammad Ali a little bit, met him twice. Once, almost by accident. We almost crashed. And the other time he came to see me on something very funny. A disciplinary action. Yep. An amazing guy. Smart guy. My friend was his bodyguard. His bodyguard became my friend after Ali came to me. I got to know his bodyguard pretty well. Yeah. People get drunk and want to take a shot at the champ, right? My buddy said, take a shot at me. The bodyguard was a white guy. He was a linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, You don't want to mess with him. People get drunk and want to take a sucker punch at the champ. And that, Ali can handle that guy. He'll wax him, right? Then he'll be sued, see? So the bodyguard is the insurance policy. Come take a whack at me. Let's let it be known. That's an undesirable thing to do. Leave him alone. Most written about person in the history of the world. I don't need to be flown 5,000 miles and told who to kill. I'll take the jail time. Right in his prime, he lost some good years. Wow. He didn't run. He became a Muslim. From Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. Muslim means peace. Islam means garden. Thank you very much. Yep. Interesting. Yep. How interesting. So, stress is not something you have. It's something a certain kind of person gives you. You can get it in the book. Just Google, I don't have the phone number, Bridge, like build a bridge, crossword, Bridge Publications, ask for Sergey, buy the book, or call up one of the Scientology centers. Go tour one of them. They don't bite, they're non-profit. They're people like you and I who worked at a job somewhere else and decided to help out there. You'll go find out what it is, and don't let somebody take something of yours. And it's non-denominational. Catholics, Jews, by God, Muslims, every kind of thing is in there. Mormons, Protestants. What's the difference? There is no difference. Kamala Harris said it well. We have more in common than not. So people, I hope you have a good day. Today is September 1st. Stress is not something that you have, nor a disorder. No. Stress is something a certain kind of person gives you, or a situation that he created. And it's all a bunch of crap. They're slick at it, they're good at it. I read you some of the stuff out of the book. Get the book. You can't afford, money's tight. No, no, no. 2 or 3 guys chip in and buy that book. It's an animal. You'll become an animal. They'll see, the small percent, they'll see the look in your eye and they'll be gone. Nobody will ever mess with your children, your guys at work, anywhere. No, no, no. The world isn't bad. The small percent that they bluff. Yeah. A sycophant. I had to look it up. That's a person that creeps with a hidden, a secret agenda that gets on the lines, slithered like a snake. He crawls on the lines of people or places of importance and extols, that means to give, the virtues, that's the value of his hidden, his little secretive program, okay? Trump had some of those parachuted in the West Wing. Trump had a terrific platform, but if you Google Trump's shadow president, you'll find out there are 5 things that will come up about that person. Trump never ran the show. Hubbard points out in another lecture, I don't know where I have it here, he says, you know, get somebody with too much to hide. And, you know, Trump had some things to hide, more so because it was in the limelight, but, you know, he had things to hide. Get somebody with something to hide, elect him, and then you can force him to go against his own country because you can blackmail him. Yep. Trump went 1 forward and 10 back. Yeah. So we covered some of these little things in the other talk about how immigration can be fixed. Absolutely. Some people thought this war, it's so amazing. It was such, this Biden, this withdrawal, on that for a second, because that was all created by the antisocial personality. You know who created that, yeah. It was such a mess to try and even think or talk or say they're going to do it for Biden because of all the opposing people on Fox saying, oh my God, what a coward. He'll pull out and cause people to be killed. What? Stopping a war is causing people to be killed? Hey, then the other side quits. See, the Taliban and the U.S. were not enemies. The new leader says, we want to have embassies and get together with the U.S. What? Yes, he always did. But somebody made he and the U.S. fight. And it wasn't just that little ISIS-K group. They're the little snake pit bunch like Somali pirates. They're crap. They're nothing. No, they aren't the WHO. No, no, no. Nope. We'll talk about that sometime. Anyway, thanks for putting up with this. The mask keeps falling. It's fashionable during the COVID game of getting healthy people to be afraid of healthy people. I thought we would borrow that to cover up until we have the architecture of her face reworked a little from a wreck that we had. It was the elective, like pick up a game of football or rodeo, whatever you want to do. It was involved horses. Yeah, obviously not very good. So that's why we're wearing this thing. It itches. Anyway, people, there you go. Get the book, Hubbard, you know? Yeah, there you go. Introduction to Science, Fellowship, Ethics. Ethics and survival are words used interchangeably. An ethical decision is a survival-like decision. The survival-like decision is an ethical decision. He says in there, we're not trying to make good boys and girls. No, no, no. He says we're trying to get people to be responsible. For what? Their own actions? No. No, for their own actions and those of others until the others can get back up. Yep. Many other things we'll talk about in the next tape, and we've talked about in the others. But for now, literally, thank God that Joe Biden, in spite of all the confusion, he ignored the confusion, a quote of Hubbard, and focused on the stability. He said, well, he watered it down. How nice. He said, no more American military might. You see the headlines? To going to do a regime change. What? And people don't need it. No, it was wrong. 20 years, 2 trillion, thousands dead for the industrial military complex so they could sell us bombs, and whoever bribed Congress into attacking people that were not the bad guys. We'll be back. Thanks. Happy September 1st. Biden next will clean up that thing in Palestine. No more our dollars killing those George Floyds on camera. Demonstrations in countries all over the world outraged. He'll fix that. And this fraud immigration and this fraud thing. Hey, people by IQs think this is real. It's not. I'm not sick, are you? If you are, go to the doctor. We'll be back.